So we're here at Linda Z's, and we wanted to talk a little bit about the new Bernina Q24 long arm frame, and we have with us the proud owner of a Q24.
Yes.
Suellen is right here, and we wanted to ask you a little bit about what you think about the Q24. How did you come about your decision in acquiring one of these wonderful frames?
Well, it is an investment.
Yes.
And it's not only a financial investment, but you spend a lot of time with your frame. And so it has to be a really good match. So I looked for well over a year, multiple years. I tried out every long arm at every quilt show that I went to.
You did?
I did. I did a lot of research online and looked at some of the top competitors and looked at all of the YouTube videos on how to run these machines and everything. But what it came down to was Linda Z's has a fabulous maintenance department, and being able to make sure my machine kept running after I got it was really important. And so a big factor for me was, where could I get the service for the machine? And the other factor was, how did it feel when I had my hands on it? Mm-hmm. And so I love these handles because you can see they make them tight, but you can adjust them all over. And so if you want your handles down close to the machine, you can put your handles down close to the machine, and
do some micro stitching.
Yeah, do some micro stitching, and so you it's down there. They also have the other kind of handles, so if your hands get tired or cramped up, you can keep your hands flat just like you would if you were doing a tabletop quilting. Mm-hmm. So I use both handles, depends on what I'm doing.
Do you ever lift one of them up so that you can bring your head really close into your work?
I do, especially with ruler work.
Separate handles.
If I'm using ruler work and I'm holding on the ruler, then I'm using this hand and I flip this one
out of the way.
Out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
It's super easy to adjust them and have them up. I also love having the hydraulics.
The hydraulic lift.
The hydraulic lift, because depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing something with the Q-matic, which uses the computer drive, I'm going to put it down low so that I can be right over it when I'm looking at how I want it to set up. If I am doing free motion, then I want to be able to look behind the needle, and so I want it to be down like this so that I can see what's going on both in front and behind the needle.
So
I need
lift
it higher.
The frame at that point. Yeah.
And then if I get tired, I can adjust it just an inch or so, and that uses different muscle groups. And so I love having the hydraulics on it. And then I'm so excited about having the new
I know what you're going to say.
Laser. Yeah. I've been asking for it since the first day I got it. The laser then points exactly where your needle is going to hit the...
So no need to bring the needle down to position your exact start point.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. But they do, on the pantograph on the back, you don't have to use the computer drive if you don't want to. You can have the pantograph, and it does have the laser in the back, where you can have the handles back there, you're standing back there, you get it all set up, and you drive and use the pantograph edge-to-edge quilting from the back of the machine. And
that's
so
a different laser system.
It's a different laser system.
This other one is completely new.
Right, which is why I thought, well, they have a laser. Certainly they can make one for the front.
Yes.
And they
did.
Just for me.
Yay.
Kidding.
I know, but it's a good, very, very nice feature that they just added.
It is.
This is true. They're also going to have another feature on the robotics that you don't even have yet, but you will. It's going to be an update. It's the undo button.
I know.
Don't we love the undo?
I love that. I love that.
Because when we make our mistakes, we don't have to start from scratch. We really like to be able to go back and undo.
But I do love the robotics because as a new long armor, I wasn't as comfortable with the quality of my free motion for people who would come and ask me to do their quilts.
Right.
And so initially, I said I would only do edge-to-edge quilting using the Q-matic when other people asked me to do that. Now, when someone brought me a blue jean quilt that still had the zippers, the buttons, the pockets, the rivets, and everything, I looked at that and looked at the Q-matic and thought, this is not going to work. We will be doing free motion for this.
Wonderful. So the confidence level on the free motion is right up there now. Very good.
Whether the quality's there or not is, you just do it.
You just do it.
Just do
it's
it.
practice. It's all
Yeah.
about practice.
And
So-
it's just so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I love using the Q-matic for is all the bags by Annie. So you can put the backing, and you can put the soft and stable, and you can put the top on, and you can have
Before
really,
you cut out your pieces.
Before you cut out
so
your
a
pieces.
huge piece of quilted sandwich.
Or small.
Or small, right.
Or small. And you can have really fun designs
Or you could
on
make
there.
multiple people gifts. Because
Yeah.
you have such long space.
Yeah.
You make
but
multiple
like for
bags.
our son, I had some Guatemala fabric that was, hand tie-dyed before they wove it. And being from Guatemala, I thought the lizard edge to edge that is on the Q-matic would be perfect for quilting it. So I quilted his in lizards.
Oh, wonderful.
And there's no way that I could do lizards in an edge to edge by hand. The Q-matic just is awesome to use. It's a lot of fun.
So one other thing we noticed that they came out with at the Bernina University convention this year were the leader cloths that have zippers on them.
Yes.
Is that something that you might be considering using?
I might.
Because you can take a project
take it off and
put
on.
on another one with another lead with a zip and zip it on.
Yeah.
And that's.
I mean, that would be very nice if you have one that. What I really want to do more of is thread painting. And if I have a really complicated thread painting project, I'd want to be able to zip that on and then take a break and come back to it.
Several quilts,
Yeah.
and then come back and do that other one.
And so if I'm doing something that's an art piece that's going to take months to do, and I need to have thinking time in between, then I'd use the zippered leader. For quilts, I usually can get those pretty much done
in a one shot. So pin them on.
Pin them on, and
pinning is part of the quilt. For me, pinning is also is part of the quilting process.
And you would pin it on to the zippered leader anyway. You would pin it. It's just you could take it off, and then it's just so much fun. In fact, it's so much fun that my husband, when we were getting this, he said, "Why don't you just put it upstairs in the living room?"
I know. I was like, that's such a great.
So when you walk in our home, you know it's the home of a quilter.
That's right, and he loves you, wants to see you more because he knows that's where you are. Right?
Yeah, and our dog is much happier having us both on the same floor.
That's very good.
So it's just great.
What about the flat back needle that is different in a Bernina than in any other quilting machine on the market? Have you experimented with some of the other standard type needles?
Yeah,
standard machine type needles that would not be offered in a quilt machine. Have you? Yeah.
When I do a t-shirt quilt, because I've done quite a few t-shirt quilts, then you don't want a needle that's going to make the t-shirts have a hole and run. And so being able to use a shirt,
or a jeans needle,
or a ballpoint needle for knits.
For knits.
The other thing that's really fun is the double needle.
Also.
Yeah, because you can put two different colors of threads or the same color, and no other machine can do that.
That's true.
And so the designs that you can get either free motion or otherwise using a double needle are unique to the Bernina. And that's pretty neat.
And the effect on the back is a really pretty zigzag in between the two needles, which is very, very pretty as well. Have you tried the couching at all yet on this? Because there's a beautiful couching feature that
I got the couching stuff.
Yes. Haven't tried it yet?
I have tried it at shows on someone else's machine.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Good.
when Bernina had theirs set up with the couching foot. But it's really neat because you can use that couching foot even with the Q-matic. And so the designs that are built in, you can press go and it will do the big cord right in. Right.
You can put whatever you want to put on. You can put on
so anything,
lace or yarn or cord. Correct.
Right.
And it's beautiful. It just attaches it right to that design and the shape of that design. So it's very beautiful. I'm just so you're enthused and you're happy.
Absolutely.
And if you can get home and work right now on your quilting, you would, right? Well, we have one right here you could do. As soon as we finish this video, we can have you start on this one. What do you say?
Well, I'm teaching a quilting class here, and I have to stay ahead of the class, so I have to go back to the hotel and finish piecing a quilt.
Okay. You can throw it on the frame after you're done.
Well, that'd be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Suellen, for coming by and talking to us about your frame and your Q24 from Bernina. And so if you'd like to come in and check out this frame here at Linda Z's, we've got one here on our floor, as you can see, and we'd love to show you all of the features. There are so many more that we didn't even get to, but we can show you them anytime.